guys, so this week I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk you through a few of my TV recommendations because basically I've been sat at home doing nothing and binge watching a lot of stuff, and I would like to share my thoughts. Do you like my cup? It's very nostalgic. It's one of my childhood cups that I can't really let go of yet, so we're going to call this, right, get ready for this, Tina's TV vlogs, maybe something else, I haven't figured it out yet, but TV because I'm drinking a cup of tea. I'm just going to have a casual chat about like what kind of TV I'm into at the moment, or like what I really like, and as a film and TV student at university I think it's good practice to talk through why I like certain shows and stuff, so let's get down to it. So I thought I would dream up a theme for this week, and the theme is British TV, and I love British TV so much. I have 3 very different genres and types of programmes, so I'm just going to talk you through it. Okay, my first show is Humans. Now, this was raved about on social media for so long, and I actually had some free time and was like, okay, let's watch it. Plus, like, they have one of my favourite actors ever, Gemma Chan, in it, and I love her so much, she's so fit. Now, the premise of it is a basically like thriller drama set in an alternative timeline where robots are living with us, but like as our workers and labourers and stuff. They're basically like slaves, and there's one group that have been programmed to feel consciousness, and so they have feelings, they have emotion, and it's really all about whether or not they're suited to live with us, or if we could ever live in harmony with these kind of beings. And I think it's really interesting. It gives a good food for thought and stuff, and I like programs that do that. It's very much like Charlie Brooker's Black Mirror, which kind of questions your own like stance on life, which I kind of like. I like a good program that makes me think about stuff. The way the synths are portrayed like are so amazing, especially the ones with consciousness. They kind of have human mannerisms, but at the same time they're still like, you can still notice that they're not human, do you know what I mean? And also Channel 4 do this thing where they reuse a lot of their actors like for different shows, so it was really fun seeing like the woman who plays Jen Barber from IT Crowd in a pretty serious role, and there was a lot of familiar faces, and I think that's just like really nice to see in a programme where you recognise the actor but they're playing a completely different role. It's really nice. I feel like that just adds to it a little bit. I love this programme. Like, after I watched it, after I watched the finale, I was in bed having robot dreams about having robot hands and stuff. So I really love it. It just really makes you think, like, does something have as much value as a human life if it has consciousness? Like, you don't know, and you feel like you really do grow attached to these characters, but at the same time you're sort of brought back to life when they're with the humans, and the humans are like, no, it's gonna create chaos if they realise that they can actually feel and they can take over because they're superior in many ways. Anyway, I'm rambling about robots. I want to be a robot so bad. Okay, the second show I'm going to recommend is a comedy, okay? And I love British comedy. I feel I could talk forever about how much I love British comedy. I think it's so much more, not better, I'm not going to say better, but I prefer it over American humour. Don't kill me. I still love American humour, but I think it's just so realistically awkward in comparison to like American sitcoms like Friends and like New Girl and all that stuff. I think it's painful to watch, and I think because it's so close to the truth and true life. So the programme is called People Do Nothing, and it's screened on BBC 3. And my dad made me watch it, and I was like, it ain't gonna be funny because, like, come on, dad watches it. But it had me in stitches. It's so funny, and it's filmed in like a mockumentary sort of style, and I love that style. It's so fun to work with as well, and it's like, it's just so funny. It could pass for a real documentary, I swear, because the characters on it are so close to people I already know in real life, and that's probably the charm of it. So it's a group of aspiring MCs / grime artists, and they have their own radio show, and they're basically talking to the camera as if like it's their big story, and it's a pretty awful yet hilarious representation of the chavvy stereotype we have in England, and I find it so funny. Like, you just have to laugh at it because it's so accurate in places, but it's so funny. Like, oh, seriously, I'm just gonna go on about it because I'm just like, I think it's hilarious. Britain does relatable comedy so well. Like, shows like The Inbetweeners and stuff, they show you what real teen life is like, as opposed to like American comedy where it's like, oh, this is funny but you still want to be a sort of thing. Like, it's painful to watch British comedy because we know it's very close to the truth and it's pretty tragic, and it's kind of like what actually happens in reality as opposed to expectations of, you know, people. It should be on iPlayer if you want to watch it, or it'll be somewhere on the internet, but it's a really good show. There's like, I think it's just finished the third series now, third or second series, and it's just, I really do recommend it. It's so funny, and yeah, go watch it. Now my last recommendation of the week is Luther. Right, okay, this is a thriller slash drama. If you haven't seen it, I would class it as a very grittier, real life version of Sherlock, and oh my god, I love this show so much. Seriously. There's so much more gore and suspense to this show, and it's so close to real life that I'm actually scared to watch it alone. It's not all about the shock factor in the show. It does, similar to Humans, it does give a lot of food for thought, and I really like that in a programme. So basically it follows a detective who works in like the department where all the murders and horrible stuff happens, and you see him struggle with distributing the right way, or like the right type of justice, and I'm trying not to give it away here in case you guys want to watch it. I feel like this character Luther, you just keep on rooting for him, and he's amazing, but he has like a really messed up time in his head because he sees all these horrible murders and has to deal with these killers who usually don't have any remorse or anything. Should it be the way that like we give an eye for an eye, like we kill the murderers? I love the show that makes me think for hours. I'll just be sat in a room like just thinking about the show, and like it makes me question my own, like, oh, would I do that? Is that right? I don't know. Like, I love it. It's just so good, and there's a special coming up soon, so I would advise to watch all of it if you haven't seen it already. It's all set in London. Like, the cinematography is beautiful. It's all dark and grey, and anyone that knows me like will know that I love gritty British stuff like that. It's just so charming and realistic and not glamorized and stuff, and it's so good, and the casting is amazing. I love Idris Elba so much. Oh my god, I love him so much, and he's a brilliant actor. Not enough people know about it, and I want you guys to watch it, please. It's very heavy and it's very emotional, and you really feel for this detective who it's kind of talked from the perspective of, and yeah, it's just great. I think it's a brilliant BBC drama, and it's not credited enough. I think it's a very good representation of British TV and how grimy it can be. Something a bit different for this week. I've really wanted to talk to you guys. Like, I like talking. I need to get used to talking to the camera again, and I really do enjoy it. If you have any TV recommendations, then please write them in the comments, and if you've seen any of these shows before, please let me know what you thought of them, and we can have like a little discussion. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!